Hey, it's Randy here in the garage. What I got in the work stand today is my Schwinn Impact. Uh, I believe this bike is from the late 80s, early 90s. Anyway, this is going to be another one of them boredom builds. I'm just looking for something to do. Let's see, I've had this bike built up a couple different times, different configurations. So let's just see what we come up with today. Seeing bright flashes of light, crackling and popping noise, and I realize it's coming from outside, and this is what I see. And now we're without electricity while they're fixing that down wire, so we'll be back once the lights are on. And power's back on. I didn't have enough light to film, but there was just enough I could feel around and get some parts gathered up. I pulled this wheel set down from the attic, and it already had tires mounted to it, so I'm just going to go with these. It's a seven-speed freewheel, and these tires are they're specialized resolution 26 by 2.1. You may recall a couple of videos ago, I said I was going to build up a bike just for these handlebars. Well, this isn't that bike. Well, I do have some handlebar and stem combinations. This setup was already all put together. This might have been what was on this bike before. I think I'll go with these. Now, these are some cruiser bars that I modified. They originally had more sweep, were more swept back. I cut them off and angled them more forward, so they're a lot wider now and then less sweep. Now I may have to repaint that stem though. I don't know that it necessarily goes. We got a red head badge there. Oh, I'm gonna need a shim there. Shim. There we go. So I have modified another pair of bars just like these, and I made a video when I did that. So if you'd like to see that, I'll leave a link to that down in the description. I think we'll just stay here on the handlebars. Just going to go with friction shifting. I don't have any an indexed or rapid fire type shifter. We've got these brake levers. I have a hunch they're not the right pull for cantilever brakes, but we're going to give them a try. Maybe we'll have enough cable here on them. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, I think so. Before I go any further, I think I'm going to go ahead and paint this stem silver black, something neutral, or maybe just strip it and see what's under there. But I don't want to be stuck with using purple in the color scheme necessarily. So I started sanding this down. It was originally aluminum, but you can see there's primer, a baby blue color, and then this purple. But the baby blue reminded me the only 9/16 pedals I have to use are this baby blue color. So maybe we'll kind of embrace the purple and baby blue. And I'll use those pedals. And then on the head badge, I'll just have to color that in or something where it's not red. So digging through my brake lever box, I found this. It's a 7-speed indexed Shimano with the brake lever. Oh, it looks like this one's, you can even adjust the pull on this one for, well, it says V up there and this would be whatever else. So it's even set right, I think. Anyway, maybe we'll give this a try and just find some other brake lever for the left side that looks somewhat close. I mean, it's kind of ugly and I don't really like it, but I don't know. I do like index shifting, so. Let's see what I can find that'll match or come close to matching that lever. So the handle's somewhat similar. I mean, this is metal and this is plastic, and I could paint this silver. I think we'll try that. Although this wouldn't be the right pull, I don't think. Anyway, let's just go with it and see what happens. So for grips, I have these purple grips. But I also have these pink Ori grips, which I know are going to be more comfortable, but I don't know if that's just a little too much. We'll start with these purple grips. Okay, well this shifter cable that was attached to it's not long enough. So I'm going to have to figure out how you put a cable in there. I guess I'll take this cover off. I don't know if you can see, but the cable is right, goes through right there. So that's not too bad. All right, I'm going to get a new, longer cable put in. And it's the next day. I ran out of time last night, but before I called it quits, I did get both the front and rear brake all cabled up. I did end up going with a different front brake lever. That first one I tried didn't have the right pull ratio or whatever. So I found one that does, I guess, or at least it works. And I did the same and painted the handle silver on that. And now I just need to come up with a rear derailleur. And it does need to be a Shimano since we're using the index shifting. Suntour. Well, I guess this is the only one I have. Yeah, it looks like this is missing the barrel adjuster, so I'll have to see if I can find something that'll work. Found one, or just took one off another derailleur. Oh. Oh geez, I was going to test it out and we don't even have a chain or crank on yet. Okay, well let's get the chain and crank on. Here's our crank and chain ring options. So this is 38 tooth and this is 40. And I'm really more concerned about the lux than I am the gear ratio. Yeah, I think our chain alignment's going to be pretty good. Well, if I don't get all my sniffing edited out of the video, I apologize. It's pretty chilly in the garage. Now for a chain. Okay. Oh, come on. And these are the pedals that I mentioned earlier. And can you guess which saddle I'm going with? That's right. When these sell Royale Lada saddles, I actually had to take this off and borrow this off another bike because I am out of them. So this is the old style seat post, so it doesn't have much, or it doesn't have any fine adjustability. I don't have a modern seat post to fit this. and it's yet another day. So I've been looking the bike over, and I don't think I'm too keen on the stem, and maybe it's just the color. So I think what I'm going to do is paint it either silver or black so it more closely matches the bike. So let me get that done. While trying to get the grips off with the air compressor, this just busted out. So it looks like we'll be changing the grips. Yeah, oh geez, look at that. Things are brittle. Can't handle this cold, I guess. Hope I didn't pay much for those. Well, I don't think I like that either, but that's what we're going with. Not that you would probably notice, but in the process of messing with the stem, I also replaced the headset. Something just didn't feel right about the one that was on there. Well, this whole front end turned out to be quite the fiasco. So I ended up replacing the headset because whatever I had on there just wasn't adjusting right, so something was off. Then I decided to replace the straddle cable with the newer style to match the one on the back. Well, then I couldn't get enough clearance here with the cantilever brakes that I had on there. So I ended up swapping out the cantilever brakes. Anyway, now on to grips, and we're ending up using the Ori grips after all. And I'm going to have to slide the controls in a little farther. I was looking for separate bolts for the brake and the shifter, forgetting that it's all one unit. Well, it's been a couple days. I've been trying to decide whether to put a basket on or not. I mean, I like it just plain and simple as it is, but then I also like the usefulness of a basket. So I think I've talked myself into putting a basket on. So let's get that done. Okay, well, it looks like our struts are too long. I have some other struts. Let me go see if I have any that are closer to the right length. Okay, this looks like that ought to be it. Well, there we have it. Another bike I don't need. I think that's it, and it's ready to ride. I'm just going to save that for another video, though, and we'll just end this video here. As always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.